zucchini pasta, I've got spiraalized zucchini, I've got some yellow squash, and even like some carrots in here. And to that, I'm going to add some sea salt. This is what I use now. I need to get a better, I mean this is good, it's still pink salt, but I need to get a better one. And some lemon juice from half of a large lemon. I'm just going to mix that up together, let it soften up nicely, and get on to making the sauce. So I'm actually making two sauces to go with the zucchini noodles. Making one out of peaches, so I'll be using all these peaches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 peaches, some sorrel, probably the other half a lemon, some basil, and probably maybe some onion. That sounds pretty good. And the boys asked for like a spaghetti sauce type of thing. So I am going to cook some onions and some garlic. I've got some basil chopped up and some parsley. And I've got all these tomatoes and a red bell pepper. I'm also going to throw in a little bit of ground mustard because it really brings out like a more cooked flavor out of the tomatoes. Probably some oregano, some, oh that's rosemary, some thyme, I've got to put that back and get the thyme, some pepper, and maybe some paprika. In case anybody was curious how I make my sauce, I start with some water in the pan. So there's some water in there, and I add the onions. The heat is not turned up. I've got the onions. Then I add in the bell pepper, which just gives it a really nice flavor. And sometimes I have to add in a little extra water just because it evaporates until I get the tomatoes in there. I'll add in a little lemon juice, that'll help too. Then after a few minutes I add in the tomatoes. After that cooks for about 5 minutes or so, I add in the minced garlic, fresh garlic, and the basil. I also add a little bit more lemon juice. Stir. I can also add in my seasonings now. Got some oregano, some ground mustard, black pepper, little paprika, and some salt. I am very generous with the salt. Stir. I think I'm going to add some more basil. I've got purple and green basil here. And some thyme. I'm going to let it cook about 10 more minutes. While this is cooking, I'm going to get started on my sauce, and I didn't use all the tomatoes for that either. I've got the lemon and just a little bit of red pepper in there. I'm going to cut up these peaches and put them in the blender with the sorrel and basil. Now that it's almost done cooking, I'm going to add the parsley. kind of chunky. My kids like it not chunky. They like it rather smooth, so I'm going to blend it a little bit. So it didn't turn out smooth, but I bet it's really tasty. The very last step is to have my son taste it and see if it's to his liking. What does it need?
Just trying to imagine how good it would taste on the zucchini pasta.
Is it perfect? Yes? Better than that out of the jar stuff, huh?
What happened to the peach sauce?
I'm making my peach sauce over here, sweetheart. I have got...
Then what's that for?
That's the tomato sauce for Eli. I have got lemon and then that piece of bell pepper. I've got, I don't know, however many peaches. I've got the sorrel in here, some basil. And I'm going to add the rest of the lemon juice. And that'll be another sauce. So here's how it turned out.
It's nice and tasty.
I got a phone call, so they've all been chowing down before I could film. It is tasty, thank you. She's already eaten her whole entire bowl. Is that yummy? Num num, you have pasta all over you. Is it num num? She's trying to see.
Num num.
So she's almost done with hers. He's working on his. And then Isaiah, he likes his as well. And here's mine with the peach, sorrel, basil, and it's so super yummy. And then I've got a little bit more sauce left. I actually am headed to work, so I'm going to just take this as a smoothie after I finish my pasta.
He's in the spot.
So how is it?
Good.
Yes?
Yummy, yummy.
Is it really good, or are you just faking?
I love it.